Hi guys, today we will talk about nucleic acid structure and organization. So first of all, what we need to know is that from the DNA we can have two pathways. We can either replicate the DNA or we can transcribe the DNA. If we decide to make copies of the DNA, that would be DNA replication. And if we decide to make the messenger RNA from the DNA, that would be transcription. So replication is required whenever there is cell division, and transcription is required whenever you want to make proteins. So first step would be transcription from DNA to RNA, which is messenger RNA, and then translation from messenger RNA into proteins. DNA replication is required for cell division, and transcription translation, which together is called gene expression, is required for the synthesis of proteins. There is also a third pathway, which is going to be reverse transcription, which also occurs naturally in the body. But reverse transcription, for example, in the telomerase activity, reverse transcription occurs naturally. But usually it occurs in the viruses, the retroviruses, HIV, for example, where the RNA is converted into DNA. So that was the central dogma of molecular biology. And you have DNA replication to give you more DNA for cellular division, and then protein synthesis by transcription and translation. Next thing that you have is a comparison between gene expression, which is transcription and translation, with DNA replication. So first of all, DNA is very large compared to the mRNA for gene expression. Like mRNA is very short and DNA is very large. DNA is going to be the copy of the entire chromosome. Okay? And transcription of DNA, which is going to be the RNA copy, it's only going to be a very small section of the DNA. DNA replication is only going to occur in the S phase. We will talk more about this later, about the cell cycle. But the transcription and translation is going to occur throughout the interphase and even in the G0 phase. Only in the mitosis the transcription translation does not occur, because in mitosis there is cell division which occurs, and DNA replication will only occur in the nucleus, while gene expression takes place in the cytoplasm. The next thing we have is cell cycle. In the cell cycle, we have the G0 phase, the G1, S and G2 phase. So the G1, S and G2 phases are known as the interphase. All three phases together are known as interphase, and mitosis is where the cell division is occurring. So G0 is the resting phase. Resting phase because there are few cells in the body which do not replicate. For example, the cardiac muscle cells, skeletal muscle cells, and neurons, they never replicate, so they always remain in the resting phase, which is the G0 phase. Then there are few cells which are always in the G1 phase, which are rapidly dividing cell. For example, the cells of the skin, the stratified squamous, keratinized epithelium, so that is constantly replicating. And then also the intestinal mucosa cells from the crypts of Leber-Kohn, they are constantly replicating, so these cells are in the G1 phase. And cells in the bone marrow, so these cells are in the G1 phase and they are constantly replicating. When you go from the G1 to the S phase, there is going to be this pathway. You need a signal. The cell needs a signal to go from the G1 to the S phase, and the cell signal usually comes in the form of growth factors. And then they bind to growth factor receptors, and then there's a second messenger system, and then eventually you kind of remove retinoblast, this protein called retinoblastoma, RB protein, and then cyclin and cyclin D, all of that kind of stuff. Not necessary right now. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे जो है G0 is going to be the resting phase where the cell is going to not replicate. G1 is going to be cells in the G1 are usually rapidly dividing cells, and then when you go from the G1 to the S phase, in the S phase is where the synthesis of the DNA occurs. So the DNA replication is going to occur in the S phase, and the protein synthesis, which is transcription and translation, which is gene expression, occurs throughout the G1, S and G2 phases, which is the interphase. So protein synthesis occurs throughout except for the mitosis part, and even in the G0 phase protein synthesis will occur. Resting cells, they do produce proteins. For example, the liver cell is in the G0 phase, or the beta cell of the pancreas. So they're constantly making insulin, or they're making like blood proteins in the case of liver cells. In the G2 phase, it is just before mitosis, and in mitosis there is cell division. So usually the problem with the cancer cell can be with proto-oncogenes or tumor suppressor genes. That is all related to the cell cycle. Next thing we have is going to be the DNA base pairs. So the DNA bases are going to be 4 in number, and one of them, thymine, gets replaced by uracil when you talk about the RNA. So RNA has 4 nucleotides, RNA has 4 bases, and DNA also has 4 bases. Just the thymine gets replaced with uracil. So easy way to remember, you have purines and pyrimidines. The purines are going to have 2 rings. One is 5-membered ring and the other is 6-membered ring. And the pyrimidines are only going to have a single ring. For the purines, you only have 2 purines, which are adenine and guanine. Adenine is going to have this NH2 group at 12 o'clock position. So this is important. Adenine has an NH2 group at 12 o'clock position, but guanine is not having any NH2 group here. That is how you distinguish adenine from guanine. And the next thing, the pyrimidines. So mnemonic for pyrimidines is going to be cut. CUNT. So you have cytosine, uracil and thymine. In these 3, the cytosine will have the NH2 group and the uracil will not have the NH2 group. So how do you differentiate uracil from thymine? That is by this methyl group. The CH3 group is only present on thymine and not on uracil. So that is how you differentiate all of the base pairs. Okay, so next that we now know about the bases, but the nucleotide which makes the DNA RNA actually consists of 3 things. So the first thing we talked about was the base, with nitrogenous base. The second thing we'll talk about is the ribose sugar. So the ribose sugar is just a 5-membered sugar. It has like 5 carbons, and you put prime numbers for ribose sugar because you also have carbons on the base. So to distinguish the carbons from the base, from the carbons on the ribose, you give them prime numbers. So on the ribose sugar you have like 1 prime, 2 prime, 3 prime, 4 prime and 5 prime carbon atoms. From among these carbon atoms, the 2 prime position is very important, because that is how you differentiate the deoxyribose from the simple ribose. Usually ribose has a OH group on the 2 prime position, and when the ribose will be lacking a OH group on the 2 prime position, you will call it deoxyribose. So the ribose in the DNA is deoxyribose, and the ribose in the RNA is going to be simple ribose. It will have the 2 prime OH group. So that is why here you can see that we have adenosine and deoxythymidine. So when you have adenine base with ribose sugar, you call it adenosine. If the 2 prime OH was not present here, we would call it deoxyadenosine. So when you have thymine with ribose sugar, you call it thymidine, and because 2 prime OH is not present, that is why we call it deoxythymidine. So this is important because you have 2 words here which are nucleotides and nucleosides. So you have 2 words, nucleosides and nucleotides. In the nucleoside, you only have the base and the ribose sugar, and you don't have the phosphate group. In the nucleotide, you will have the base and the ribose sugar and the phosphate group. So how do you name the nucleotides and nucleosides? Here's the nomenclature. For the base, which is adenine, if you have adenine attached to the ribose, you will call it adenosine. If the ribose is lacking a 2' OH, you will call it deoxyadenosine. If to this structure, which is adenine with the ribose sugar with a phosphate, if you attach a phosphate which attaches to the 5' position on the ribose, if you attach a phosphate, it will become adenosine monophosphate. If you attach 2, it will become diphosphate. If you attach 3, it will become triphosphate. So adenine with the ribose is adenosine, and then you attach the phosphates 1, 2 and 3. Guanine with the ribose sugar is guanosine or deoxyguanosine, and then you attach the phosphates. Cytosine with the ribose sugar will become cytidine. Uracil will become uridine, and thymine will become deoxythymidine. Thymine will always be deoxythymidine because it is not present in RNA. So it is only present in DNA, and we know all our nucleotides in DNA will have ribose which will lack the 2' OH group. So thymine will always be deoxythymidine.